Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome back to the channel. Today, I want to talk about Shazam 2. You can barely see that from there, can you? So, I actually went to see this last week, and I've had some time to think about it. And it's a good film. I will say, it's a good and entertaining film. The first one was one of those surprising ones to me. It was in the middle of a time when DC were really kind of shifting gears. You know, you had Man of Steel, you had Batman vs Superman, you had Wonder Woman, all very dark films. Then they came out, I believe it was Aquaman first and Shazam. That's when they wanted to brighten things up a little bit, and both films had a lot of colour in it. So it was very different to the Snyder films, but it worked. You know, the first one was about family. It was kind of like a wholesome family superhero film, and it was fun. This one is more about Billy taking on the role of a leader, and unfortunately, I do think that the announcement of James Gunn being head of Warner Brothers, saying he's got a whole new slate of films that he's going to reboot the universe, I think that's really hurt this film, because I don't think people are going to want to go and see it if there's nothing to come from it. And it's unfortunate, because I do think this is probably one of the better DC films. There is nothing completely egregious about it in terms of its writing. It's a fun story. It's still very family orientated, and I think that's something that's been lacking a lot within Hollywood recently. And it has stakes, without a doubt. It definitely has the stakes, but it's still rooted in the sort of the childish immaturity of Billy. And I think that's what makes this film just so much fun. Having a superhero who isn't actually kind of an intellectual adult, having someone that is still a child playing superhero, but yet he's actually got to do it for real. It's still an interesting concept, and I think they've done a really good job of it. There's not too much Billy Batson in this film, and I think that would have been a bit more interesting, to be completely honest, especially in the time of his life that he's going through, where he is, I believe he's 17, coming up 18, and that's when the state starts getting involved to basically say, you know, they can't now give money towards the family to help him. So he has to take on a little bit more responsibility. So this is where it comes. It's more responsibility from Billy himself, as well as more responsibility from Shazam being the head of the superhero family. And he's very sort of conflicted by it, because he wants to be the good son, but he also needs to be the good hero. And he doesn't want the same sort of things that happened in the first film. He wants to mature. So it's actually a well-written film. I think the villains are good. I think Helen Mirren and Lucy Liu are fantastic. I don't know the younger lady's name. I don't know. She's okay, but I really do think I think Helen Mirren was fantastic in this. I really do, and they do bring a sort of a menacing, concerning sort of nature when it comes to this film. I never know how to pronounce his name. Djimon Hounsou? Oh, I'm so bad with the name. He is again incredibly good in this film, and he's so funny with his interactions with sort of Billy and Shazam. And it's, like I said, it is a very fun film, and it's just unfortunate that I think it's been really hurt by the sort of corporate politics, as it were, for the company itself. If it hadn't been for that, I think this movie would be doing a lot better than it is. And there is some surprising elements to it, and I don't want to ruin anything, but one of the biggest disappointments for me in the first film was a post-credit scene where they had a headless When I say headless, I mean they cut Superman's head off so you couldn't see who played him. Superman go to the school and sit down, and it didn't help the continuity of the DC films, because if you're going to do something like that, if you're going to reference the other characters, it's better to do it with the actual actors. You know, they did it with Black Adam. They brought back Henry Cavill, which, again, corporate politics seems to have been a bit of a backfire. But there is more cameos in this. Again, I don't want to spoil anything. There's more cameos in this than obviously in the first one, and then I've seen in a DC film for quite a while, actually, to be honest. And I'm quietly optimistic that we will get something more from Shazam, especially Zachary Levi's Shazam, a little bit later on down the line, because I think he's a very good Shazam. I think he captures that childlike nature very, very well when he is being that kind of superhero. You know, what would a child do in a body of superhero? So I really want him to continue the part. And so there is an end credit scene that seems like it could tie into the new James Gunn universe. But at the end of the day, we have to wait and see. And I've got a strange feeling that maybe with the way that the box office is going, Gunn might say no. But it's a surprisingly good film. And I remember watching Black Adam and I thought that was good. It was nothing exceptional. Don't get me wrong. It wasn't an exceptional superhero film. But when there's been so much rubbish as of late, the okay films suddenly become amazing. And that's what it felt like with Black Adam, and maybe a little bit with Shazam 2 as well. Because it's again, it's not an exceptional film. I do like dragons. Love the fact they've got a dragon in it. That's very cool. And there's a couple of little quips that Shazam has about dragons. So it is actually a well-written film, and it's a lot. It pains me to say, but the writing is so much better than a lot of the Marvel stuff nowadays. And it's a shame for Marvel, but it's great for DC. But it's just unfortunate that I think DC heads have kind of shot themselves in the foot with this, because I think this could have been something really good. And for me, it's a fun outing. It's very much worthwhile, and I will definitely be purchasing it because I think it's like I said, it's a good fun film, and we're in short supply of those. Yeah, I would say it's a good like 7 out of 10. It's great, but unfortunately for me, we will see what happens over the course of the next kind of couple of years, whether Shazam will be back in the DC universe or if James Gunn completely scraps it. Either way, let me know what you guys think about it down in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because that really does help me out. And I'll see you all in the next video.